Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohana's putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, send the curses to them enemies.
Shalom, Israel. And when I
testing 1 2. Let me get a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me clearly, let me get a 1 in the chat. All right, get this off here. Sure. Okay, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Rakatah to the brother, Yahweh Shalom Atham Hashem Yahshua to the sisters. I'm Precinct Officer Paratazar of Yonkers, New York. Right now I'm holding down for Precinct Officer of 5000 Hazahab. He'll be here shortly. Let's clap it up for the Lord. And then let's clap it up for the Lashawan QADASH, the holy tongue of the Israelites. Right now we're gonna go in with the Lashawan QADASH. You know what I'm saying? Because we always start off with the alphabet. Let's rock it. Let this. Lock it. Let's get my glasses. So we're gonna just start off with the alphabet for the brothers and sisters. Start learning the ancient Hebrew, and also the modern Hebrew, the Assyrian. All right. Let's start off from here. Check out this black one. That's a mark. And go on. Let's start off with the ancient. All right. Oh, no, we're not going to do it that way. Do it the other way. We're going to spell the words. There. Yeah. Okay. Give me a 2 if you can see that. Give me a 2 if you can see characters in front. All right, we got a 111, just in the paint. It's in the house. Shalom, just in the paint. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Atom B'Shem Yahushua. All right. We got Sunrise Show. Shalom. Shalom. Let's see here. All right, just music in the house. Shalom, just music. All right, we got one. All right. We got Linwood, Colin. Shalom. And we got Yaquatazar. Shalom, Yahbashim Yahshua. What's going on? All right, 2-2. Dewada. What's not in Christ? All right. Dewada. All right. Try a different color on this. A lot. Okay. Lock. Baya. Tent. Yeah. Tent. Kamal. All right. The laugh. All right. Hana. There you go. Wow. Zanyan. Okay. Kawaman.
Kawama.
Oh, Kawakan. Slaka. Kawama. Tut, like in Tana.
If anyone online has a question about the Hebrew, or a question about the Lashawan QADASH, the Hebrew, please type your questions into the chat and we'll get to them shortly, all right? If anybody has any questions about Hebrew, Lashawan QADASH, put your questions in the chat and we will address your questions shortly. In a minute, we're gonna get Jeremiah 6 and 16. So while brothers are on the board, I'm gonna just go over two scriptures here, right? Go ahead. I'll show y'all.
Jeremiah 6th chapter verse 16. Thus saith the Lord.
This is the Lord talking. This is God talking. Right? If you ever known God, a lot of us never knew God growing up. Right? But this is what God said in the Bible. Read.
Stand ye in the ways.
Stand ye in the ways. Ways mean paths or roads. There's many roads that you can walk down. There's many streets to drive on. You know what I mean? There's many pathways to go. But what's the path that you should take if you found out that you're an Israelite? Right? Read.
and ask for the old paths.
Now, if there's any path out there, don't look for no new path. That's what God said. Don't be looking for no new path. If you're a sister out there, don't look for no woman's Bible. That's new. Right? Ask for the old path. The path where they were stoning people to death. And Christ came and did what? Say, yo, everybody get a second chance. You know what I mean? Ask for that path. Don't be looking for no new path. The new path is LGBT. Right? Don't look for no new path, man. Love everybody. And we get oppressed in secret. Right? Keep reading.
Where is the good way?
Well, what?
Where is the good way?
The old path is the good way. This new path, this new road you're on, is not good for you. Everybody complaining about minimum wage because we chose the new path. All the sisters complaining that they can't. All the men ain't garbage. You know what I mean? They complaining about they can't keep a man. They get 40, and then the pastor's telling them the right one is out there for you somewhere. Love at first sight, all kind of garbage. All these new paths that is not working for you. All you do is end up in credit card debt with your new path. Don't look for no new path. Right? You get heart disease and lung cancer and high blood pressure with this new path. Ditch the new path. Ask for the old path, the Lord said. Keep reading.
And walk therein.
And walk therein. Is there more in there? Right quick, right? When you see Israelite groups, don't look for the new one. That's what the Lord is. I did not make that up. If you see many Israelite groups, every Israelite group is a doorway, right? And there's a doorway to choose, and there's a doorway to not choose. Now the Lord will tell you straight up which one to choose. But then, he's not the one that's making the choosing for you. The scripture says, make thine election sure. You know what I mean? Don't go to no new group. Don't walk into no new door. Ask for the old door. ISUPK is the old door. Before the ISUPK, right? Every other person who was saying that he was an Israelite was trying to be like the Jewish man. And the Jewish man is a new path in the earth. He is not the old path, right? You're gonna claim to be an Old Testament Israelite while wearing new things, kufis and the T-shirt with the fringes. That's Jewish, man. That's not the new path. Speaking Hebrew with vowels in it, that's new. Vowels is new. We got a book right here. After we get these on the board right here, we're gonna go into how this is the old path. All right. ISUPK the old path, man. You know what I mean? Since 1969, giving the truth to our people, unadulterated. All right? Keep going.
And ye shall find rest for your soul.
Oh, hold on, wait, read it again.
And ye shall find rest for your soul.
And you shall find rest for your souls. IUIC, their souls is not resting there. Right? The only person resting in IUIC is Joy Morgan. She's the only person whose soul is resting in there, because of the terror she went through. And they said they found drugs in her body, MDMA, meaning that Hamite, in that new path called the IUIC, put drugs in that sister. And if you're a sister online, just know that you are a sister like Joy Morgan. You could be Joy Morgan. See, I mean, if the Lord took Joy Morgan out of that time and place, that would be you there, sister. You be there in that new path, and you will not find rest for your soul there. All right? Ask for the old path, right? Don't no sister get drugged up in here and get murdered by no African in here. All right? Any more in there? That's it?
There's a little bit more in the verse.
There's a little bit more? Okay, go ahead.
But they said, we will not walk therein.
Hold up now. There's some people that say, go back to the last sentence.
And ye
shall find rest for your souls.
And ye shall find rest for your souls.
Uh-huh.
But they said, we will not walk therein.
And then somebody said, we will not walk in that place. We're not going to ISUPK. You guys are 501c3. What does that mean? What does that mean to have a 501c3? Who knows?
The tax exempt.
It's a tax registration. If you're classified as a religious organization, you have to have a 501c3, or if you don't, you would have to pay tax on tithes you collect. So it's a tax exemption if you collect tithes and say, no, this is tithes for religious purpose. According to the Bible, we have to collect tithes. If you don't have a 501c3, Commander General will have to pay a tax, which is what, 30% to the federal government. And because of the 501c3, you would have to give them no money. I would have to compromise anything or do anything for them. It's just that because we're classified as a religious organization, 501c3, you don't pay taxes on tithes, right? Down the street, there was a new path called the ICGJC, right? These guys says 501c3, oh my gosh, let in the numbers. The government. So what happened was they did not get a 501c3, but then they collected tithes. And then, of course, without a 501c3, you have to pay tax. They didn't pay tax. They got locked up for tax evasion. The comforter, the so-called comforter, Tazadakia, he got locked up for tax evasion because he didn't have a 501c3. Okay? And he went to jail, and then when he was in jail, the Lord killed him. Right? The Lord killed him in jail without mankind, without a fight. You know what I mean? He was breathing one day, and the next day he wasn't. That was the Lord. Okay? He should have asked for the old path. He would have found rest there. I'm surely he found rest here. You see what I'm saying? The Lord took me out of slavery, is everything. You know what I mean? Everything. Right? Keep it in.
Verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet.
Hearken to the sound of the trumpet. The trumpet is the call. Meaning the trumpet is when you call for danger, or when you call people to come together in a gathering. The scripture says, gather together, all nations not desired. Now the UPK has been sounding the trumpet for a long time, and you would not come. That's the point that Jeremiah is saying. We sounded a trumpet. We're saying, gather together, all nations not desired. And people say, we're not going to come. We're going to try all these other paths, these new paths. Give me 16 from the top.
Thus said the Lord.
God talking, read.
Stand ye in the ways.
Look at all of the ways.
And see.
And what?
And see.
And look, read.
And ask for the old paths.
When you look at all of these paths, ask for the what?
Old paths.
The old path. All right? Right? And some people, they choose a path, and what you see that they don't find rest for their souls there, meaning that's not the path that the Lord is talking about. Okay? Good. Right? Okay. So on the board, we're gonna get that verse there in Hebrew also, right? On the board here, priest officer Pratazar. We got the Hebrew outfit on the board. I said this is not Kawaman, this is Kawaman.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. A word doesn't end in N unless it's when it already has a root word. It doesn't end in an additional N if it's not a person or a place. All right. So the root word for Kawama is kam. Right? Right on the board here. So we got Kawama here, right? Ka. This pen is dying further now.
Is that already done, sir?
Yeah. I know priest officer Yatazar, you know. He always teaches very healthy classes. Right? Very healthy and well-trained exercise classes. So he gets on the board and works the magic with the pen. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so this pen is dying a little bit. We're gonna keep going a little bit, right?
Oh.
If anybody has any problems with anything that's written on the board, let me know. And we'll make our best to make the the right and correct adjustments, all right, for your needs. This class is not for me, it's for you, all right? So with that being said, we rely on your questions, all right? So we can properly aid you in making sure that you can be with all of us. And being said, speaking English, we've been learned to be with our slave master. We've been able to serve the slave masters well by speaking their language. Because we can communicate well with our slave masters. There's the problem. We can't connect well with each other. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to each other, there's always one Negro thinking he's better than the other. Because one speaks hood, and he only respects hood talk. And then one speaks good, black college grammar, and he only respects good, black college grammar. Right? So we need something in common, which will be the language of our ethnic origin. That is the purpose that the Lord gave us our language for. Right? It's the purpose why He gives anybody their language is so that you can connect with your own people. Right? And anytime you want to go outside of that and love all people and connect with all people, right? Then you go into slavery. Right? As Judith, the 5th chapter says, in your own time, read Judith, the 5th chapter. It's a very healthy chapter for your spiritual growth. Okay, good. Kawama means fence, right? You take off the ha. The ha is the servant tense, right? The servant tense meaning is serving something, is doing something for somebody. Okay, and you'll be left with kawam, right? Kawam, right? Kawam. The Y in the middle of any Hebrew word outside of its root word is used as to say ing, right? Even the servant tense in many cases is used like an ER, not in this case, but in many cases, the ha can be used as like an ER, right? It's the same way how it's used in English, right? But of course, you will not apply ERs to Hebrew, but in English, when you use ER, there's a sense behind it to say, if you're a fighter, then your life is about serving the verb fight. You see what I'm saying? If you're a builder, right? Your purpose in life is to serve the verb that is built, to build. Okay? Good. Right? So it's the servant tense, all right? Good. Kawam, right? Which would essentially mean heating, right? Which essentially would mean heating, right? As heat by itself is kam, right? This word means hot, right? This word means hot, right? And there was a people called Ham, which were Hamites. Ham in Hebrew was Kam, all right? For the people who are Hamites, right? When you go into white studies, Manetho, and all of them, right? They write this in Hebrew. We write it like this, right? Kam, right? And then they'll look at this and they'll say that they pronounce this ka, right? They pronounce this ka as a K-H-E instead of a C-H-A-A. Right? That's how scholars pronounce that. So when it comes to saying Hamite, right? They'll take in English transliteration, right? They turn this into ham, right? Ham, right? When it comes to Kemetic, they call it Kemetic. I'm getting there. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to people who study Egypt, instead of H-A, they'll put K-H-A, or sometimes even K-H-E, right? It's the same thing, right? To say Kemite. And then when black studies, we're right now, where are we, Aisha Yala? Where we at right now?
Oh,
We're in Harlem, right? We're at 2279 3rd Avenue, Harlem, New York. And right here in Harlem, they used to have Black Egypt studies, and then they'll ship brothers off to Egypt to study, and then brothers would mispronounce, would hear this and try to say this and not spell it like this. They'll spell it like this. They'll say, instead of saying Kemites, they'll say Mat. And then they want to come around and tell you the Bible's not real. Right? They're gonna think this from the third son of Noah, right? Called Ham, and Ham grew into a big family, right? They went and took over the northeastern part of Africa, and became the great Kemite empire, and then brothers over here will study pictures, right? And the philosophy that's not theirs. They're gonna study Kemet or the Kemites, and then they come around and tell you that the Bible is not real, and nothing in the Bible is real, and nobody's in the Bible is real. There's no Ham, Shem, and Japheth that's not real. Meanwhile, Kemet is from Kem or Ham, which is Ham in the Bible. Okay, no problem, right? We're gonna keep going, right? So this now, right, is where the word Karamah came from. Karamah is a fence or a wall like this, right? To make a wall, you have to heat up bricks, right? You'll get clay on the side of the road. You'll filter out the clay from the dust by the way of water and using paper or stuff or cloth, right? And filter the dust and with the rest of the clay sediment. You heat that in the sun, or you put it with dry hay, right? And heat it in the sun. The dry hay holds the structure together, and that's how you make a brick. And when it dries in the sun, you can kill somebody with how hard that brick has become. All right, it's regular dust that you can find, regular dirt. That's not soil, but like dirt. All right, from the elements. All right. Go ahead,
So, so if I may.
Right quick, right? And then you
come.
heat that up, heating, and then this is the thing that serves you when you made these bricks. They serve you to make your wall, and they serve you to make your fence, and to keep your house warm, and to keep your horses in the pen, and the cows in the pen, and to keep your sheep in the pen. Now they serve you, all right? That's how the word Karamah is formed. Karamah, where the shape is this fence here. Okay, good. Go ahead, press this up.
Oh no, so that just remind me. That's what they do when they make log cabins.
Mm-hmm.
That when they put the filling in, as you say,
Yeah,
keep you warm, the insulator, but it get hard. You know what I'm saying? And you let it sit and start getting hard like a brick.
Yeah.
In the seams, locked.
Absolutely correct. And then Pharaoh was like, "Oh yeah, y'all wanna worship this God that we don't believe in." That's why Kemites don't believe in the Bible, because Pharaoh professed that he don't believe in the Israelites' God. Meanwhile, he was the son of Ham. Right? The story is in the Bible about Ham and how Ham got formed. Okay, no problem, right? Alap is cow, so this is the figure of a cow's head. Alap, right? There's no vowels in Hebrew. There's no O in Hebrew ever. Okay. Oh, we got a book over here. I saw y'all, right? If you can stand up, you come to the board, please. Right. If you can go to page 3. First, let me know what you're reading. Right. This is the Biblical Hebrew Text and Workbook, Bonnie Petrardi, Kiddo, Vic Hoffer, and Rebecca Atwright, Jewish scholars, right, in the world, right? People respected in the modern Hebrew language, right? And we open it up, right? This book right here is from Yale University, right? This is a book from Yale University. This is not stuff that we made up, okay? And they're gonna break down something heavy in this book about why we read this this language like we do here. All right, so we're gonna go to page 3. page number 3. Right? Somebody should do a TikTok about this right here. Right? And you're gonna read the first chapter here. All right? Read it right there where it says originally.
Originally.
Now, originally means in the origin, meaning first. All right? Referring to the Hebrew. Now, this is the Hebrew text, what? Text and workbook. All right? So it's letting you know how to read Hebrew text. All right? In the Bible, biblical Hebrew text, right? Keep reading.
Only the consonants were used.
Read it again from the top.
Originally,
read.
Only the consonants were used.
Originally, only consonants were used. These are all counted as consonants. Right? These are all counted as consonants. Every single last one, even the I is counted as a consonant. Right? There was no vowels in Hebrew. Read it again.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
So when you see the oppressor saying shalom with an O, that's wrong. When you hear him say Boker Tov in the morning, that's wrong. You see what I'm saying? When you hear him say Yehudi with E and U's and I's, Yehudi, that's wrong. Right? That is a new path. The old path is what from the top?
Originally,
in the origin. That is the old path. The original path. Read.
Only the consonants were used.
So you have to look for a path and speak in the Hebrew, where only the consonants were used, and that is the Lashawan QADASH. Give Command and General Yahya a hand. Command and General Yahya. All right. Is there anything else I need there, or are we good?
No, I think we're good.
We're gonna keep moving. All right. And that's from Yale. So if you don't like that, and you don't like the Lashawan QADASH, what you gotta do is you gotta get on your emails and make a formal complaint to Yale University and not us. It's the truth. All right? Good. All right? After that, we have Bayat, which is tent. Not what the Jewish man says. The Jewish man going to say is bait. Bait. Beth Israel or Beth this and Beth that. There's no E's in there because E is a vowel. It's Bayat. It's tent. Right? Gamal is camel. Right? The E is in the English, camel, but in Hebrew is gamal, right? Not camel, but gamal. All right? Camel comes from the Hebrew gamal, because remember now, this is the original language. You see what I'm saying? Oh, we forgot to read that part. Yeah, I saw y'all. Forgot to read that part. Give me back to page 3 again. All right? Dalat is a door. Right, that's Dalat, that triangle right there, right? That everybody complains and says from carrying the words of Alex Jones. They say, "Oh, look, that's the Star of Molech." That's what happened here. Come in, brothers, all right, quick. Come. Oh, you got one on there? Well, that's black. He's black on black. He's a solid certified trooper. Oh, your one ain't so clear neither.
Oh,
we got one in the shoulder right here.
Okay.
There we go, right here. This thing right here is 2 dots together. All right. Every king had a seal, that a stamp to say this is a letter from the king. Negroes are always doing art with their name. Growing up in school, everything. David did the same thing. This is what you refer to today as 2-letter D's for David's name. Wa in David's name is like an and, right? That's what that is. Don't make Alex Jones your prophet of God, right? So don't refer to Alex Jones and the things he says about the Bible, because he doesn't know the Bible, and he cannot lead you to the truth, and he can't tell you that you're Israelite and how you should live. So don't base being an Israelite off of things that Alex Jones says. This is not the Star of Molech, right? Molech was a god, and the Star of Molech was a figure of a god. All right, you can have a seat, right? The star of Christianity is the white Jesus Christ, and the star of Islam is Muhammad. So how come the Star of Molech is all of a sudden the shield of David? It makes no sense. It's dumb. All right. No problem. David's name is formed from this. 2 of these, one inverted on the other. That's David's name. It's not that deep. It's not the good and the bad and the up and the down and the left. It's none of that stuff. It's not numerology. It's none of that stuff. It's just a signature from David. All right. Go ahead. Aisha.
By the time of the Israelite kingdom.
By the time of the Israelite kingdom. Is that the beginning? The Hebrew from the top, from the very top.
The Hebrew
The
alphabet
Hebrew alphabet is what we got on the board here. The Hebrew alphabet. Read.
is the oldest in the
The
world.
Hebrew alphabet is the oldest alphabet system on the earth. Right? Now that's from Yale. If you don't like us saying that, go to Yale. Email Yale. Read.
Still in use today.
And they say it's still in use today because our oppressor uses it today. And the English letters is formed out of these Hebrew alphabet. That's why the A looks so similar to the R. And the bar is so similar to the B. And the Z is the same Z. And with the L is the same L. The La. You see what I'm saying? The Tha is a sideways, a slanted T. You know what I mean? Come, right? Keep going.
Our own alphabet is a descendant of
Hold on,
it.
wait. What?
Our own alphabet.
Our own alphabet, meaning the English. Our own alphabet is a what?
Descendant of it.
According to Yale, English is a descendant from the ancient Hebrew. Throughout the Aisha, very good, right? Correct, right? And with that, all languages are born out of the same Hebrew language, right? I was saying the other day, Ma in Chinese, Ma, right? If I say Ma, Ma in Hebrew, what am I saying?
100.
No. Okay. Ma'ah is 100. That's good. That's actually pretty good. Ma'ah is 100. If I say Ma, close. Ma is of. If I say Ma, what? Very good. Very good. What? Ma is how you say what in Hebrew. Guess what? It's also what in Chinese, in Mandarin. Ma. Right? Shama. Ni Zhao Shama means Ni Zhao Shama means right? Or Ni Zhao Ma. Ma is how you say what in Chinese, right? The same how you say what in Hebrew. Ma. M-A-H. Okay, good. Right? Keep going. Hana. This is the word every time you read in the Bible, it says lo. Or it says behold. That's Hana, meaning to look at this thing here. Hana, right? It's a figure of a hand doing this. Right? The loft is the door of a tent. So in a tent, right? When you have a tent outside in the wilderness, right? You got grass, right? You got the foundation of the tent to hold to make sure it doesn't blow away in the wind, right? Here's your tent. That's this right here, right? And then in the tent, because it's formed from leather or some cloth or something, depending on your region, right? There's a split in the middle for a door. And that door is always a triangle shape based on the build of the tent. All right? That's how the loft became a door. Wawa is a fish hook, right? You got a fish hook, and you got a metal prong on there, right? That's sharpened to catch fish. Both ends are sharpened. You throw it in the water, you catch fish. Right? You stack the fishes up on the hook. This eventually became the symbol to say and or plus, right? Because we would stack fishes up on the fish hook when we made our catches to take it home. Za is a Zayan. We went over Kalma already. Fence or wall. Tana'a is the bottom of a basket. I was supposed to bring a basket in here so we can show how the bottom of a basket. Our grandmothers in slavery would use this thing right here. They get with the willow bush, make a circle, and get other pieces of the willow bush and make an X in the middle with two other willow bushes, and then weave around the X of the bush in the middle to create the bottom of a basket. Tana'a is basket. Yad is your hand. It's your hand doing this. Hand, arm, and arm. Right? Good. Right? Cup is the palm of your hand. Right? Even the spigot inside of the cup is the lines in your palm of your hand. That is what they're trying to insinuate by this figure here. They call these pictographs. Someone look up pictographs on Google for me, right? Pictograph. Okay, good, right? Lamad is learn. This is a figure of an old walking stick, right? An old walking stick. It was initially written like this with a curved end, right? all like this with a curved end, right? The whole idea was that the stick was being held up by an elderly man who's punishing a younger man, right? You try to keep a young man in his way. The scripture says what? Beat a child on his sides while he's young, bow his head while he's young before he goes old and becomes headstrong. All right? So you make sure he learns with the rod. The rod of who? The elderly man, the walking stick. All right? So that signifies an elderly man correcting a younger man. Nowadays we call it a checking. Your slave master calls that a fine. Right? Or what's the thing that work at work? A suspension. We call that a suspension. We call that I don't know what you call them. We call them a fine, parking tickets. He calls it a light bill. All kind of surcharge. Right? That's how he does it today with the pen. He's the devil in his getting hot, brothers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I turned it on.
Okay, come. Yeah, your hand up.
I got the picture grab, and also they call it a deduction.
A deduction. Good night. That's a harsh one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That right there make you cry, like, especially if you're a Christian, worrying about Christmas gifts and all kind of garbage. Yeah, they call that a deduction. They call it getting fired too. You know, that's what I got the other day, fired. You know what I mean? Little did I know the Lord freed me. See what I'm saying? Keep reading. Pictograph. Brother, all right?
You want the definition or just
The definition is 2 hours. Okay?
Picture graph. And pictorial symbols for a word or a phrase.
From the top again.
A pictorial.
A pictorial what?
Pictorial symbol.
These are pictorial symbols. That's what these are. These are pictorial symbols, right? And when you see it, you got to say what it is, right? When you see this, know that this is a camel's hump. When you see this, know that this is a cow's head. It's a picture of a cow's head. It's a pictorial symbol to do what?
For word or phrase.
It's a pictorial symbol for a word. This pictorial symbol is for Allah, cow. Right? Where was we at? The ma. This ma is a pictorial symbol for mayam, which means water. Na is a pictorial symbol, nawan, which means sprout, right? So now, of course, just like the ba, they have this thing going under the ground for the foundation. In water, it's the same thing, right? You have the sea level where the water is. Number one. Ma is us. Yam in Hebrew means the sea, right? Yam from the sea. We're from the Middle East, right? Today, the Middle East, cursed by the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Cursed by the Lord, right? The Middle East, right? Before the great irrigation skill of the Israelites, right? Was just like today's desert. You see what I'm saying? After the Lord cursed it after the Garden of Eden, and then from when the Lord cursed Cain and said, from the ground all the fruits is going to be cursed. I'm paraphrasing, right? He said desert. So you want water? Water is at the sea. Water is of the sea, from the sea, of the sea, right? And this is the pictorial symbol of this word or phrase. Mayam is a phrase. Mayam is a word to say water. Okay. Now what? Right? This is a symbol. Again, this curved thing right here means it goes under the ground. Right? In this case over here, this means under what? Sea level. Okay. This one here now, the seed is right here. There's a seed here. And then a seed sprouts roots. That's where plants come from. They come from a seed. Seed is zarai, right? In Hebrew, right? And they sprout roots. Okay? That's number one. Samak is a figure of a flag. It's the ancient way to draw flags. It's not like today where your flag is blowing in the wind, and the wind is blowing, your flag is hanging down. Our flags hang up wide open when there's no wind. by giving the flagging skeletal ribs in the structure of the flag. So just picture old Chinese flags or old Japanese flags and think about where they got it from if this was the first culture. If this is where all languages were formed. If this is where all technology came from, right? All inventions came from. Back when the Chinese man was just a guy in a tree eating dogs. I'm serious. They were not that advanced. You see what I'm saying? All through the Qing and Chang dynasties, Qing and Chang, right? They were not very advanced, and they was always looking for outsiders to help them, learn this thing. Today is no different. They see cars being made in America, they copy the car, right? They look at everything you do and they just copy it, and everything is not made in China because they just duplicate what they see from the Americas. It's no different, right? So everyone knows that today their reputation is that they duplicators and they cheat by copying your invention and remaking it, right? And it was no different than 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, because there's nothing new under the sun with these people. That's what the Lord is talking about, these people, right? It's not saying that there's nothing new under the sun. Doesn't mean there was cell phones 5,000 years ago. That's not what the Lord is saying. He's just saying the same way how the Moabite is today. That's Chinese people in the Bible are the Moabites. The same how they are today, the same way they were back then. The same how Negroes are today is the same way how Negroes are in the Bible. If you read it, you see that the way how we talk today and think today and move today is the same way how we would move. And if you ever wanted to have an idea of how Negroes and Latinos lived while they were free, you're going to read in the Bible, in the Old Testament, where they were free. All right? I is a picture of an eye. The word I in English is from iron. All right? Iron. That's where the word I in English comes from. It just says that even the English today is born out of the ancient Hebrew, according to Yale University. Nothing we made up. Pa this is a pictogram, a pictorial symbol of a mouth. Right? Here's the roof of the mouth and here's the jaw. Right? And we said it by saying pa. Right? That's mouth. Tazad is a what? That's how you say side. This is a pictorial symbol of a man on his side, right? Where back in the past, it will be drawn like this. Right? It will be a man lying down with one leg out, and then his other leg like this in a curved way. And over time, we're gonna write receipts. We're making sales and we got receipts. Over time, it just became this, and then it became this, and then it became this. Right? That's how the Tazah was made over time. Right? So instead of drawing a circle, they draw the line there. Okay? Kwam is the figure of the sun rising up, the sunrise. Right? So sunrise is always a semicircle on the horizon. Right? And this line is saying that the sun is going up. Ra'ash is the figure of a head. Here's the man's head, here's his chin, here's his neck. Right? The top of his head. Right? Shan is a pictorial symbol to say tooth. This is the figure of two front teeth. This is the pictorial symbol of two front teeth. And then we have thou, which is mark, and the figure just as is like X marks the spot. Good. We have a question online.
But it's like it's a little funny statement somebody wrote.
Okay.
God of thoughts.
God of thoughts.
I don't know if it's a he or she, but he said, "I will definitely kiss your boots, or even lick the bottom of, lick the bottom of it."
Yeah.
Sir.
One day you will not even see our boots because you'll be under the ground in mines, digging up gems and copper and aluminum and all things that we need for our kingdom to run. The same way how we have served your kingdom, right? You're going to serve our kingdom Because we believe in equality. You know, we believe in fair. We served you for 40 years. You should serve us for 40 years too. We served in the Roman captivity, so how many years is that? We served you under the Romans. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, you got a lot of, you ain't gonna see boots. You're gonna see dust in your eye. Right? You wanna lick dust of something, you wanna lick the dust in the caves and mines and ruins of the Himalayas while you sleep next to the alpaca. What's the alpaca again? It's an animal, right? You're gonna sleep next to the alpaca in the Himalayan mountain. Himalayas is in China, in India, right? What's the one down here by South America?
Andes.
And the Andes. Okay, we're not in the Andes, right? Because we're leaving this place. We're gonna go back to the old world. So the Himalayas. I don't know what animals in the Himalayas. You're gonna be down there, you know what I mean, eating the hair of that whatever animal is out there. You know what I mean? You know, so you'll be under our boots. About roughly, I'll say, about where we gonna cut it at, Aisha, y'all? 70 miles underground.
Yeah, sounds
We
about
go,
right.
sound about right. Sounds fair. We gonna let them stop at 70 miles under the ground. You know what I mean? And take a break down there, and you know, give us the report of all the good things you find down there, right? Good, right? I need the eraser, right? I saw the eraser. The other one. Or there's two of them. I think the other one is the better one. This one is doing okay for now. Yeah. So we're gonna get Jeremiah 6 and 16.
You said pull that out in the Hebrew?
Yeah, we're gonna get Jeremiah 6, the same chapter we had a while ago, Jeremiah 6 and 16. We're gonna get that in the Hebrew, the water first.
I got it pulled up.
You got it pulled up? You got it there? Okay, this is what I want to do, I show y'all, right? I want you to translate that into ancient Hebrew on the board. Is it a rough task for you?
No, I got that.
Okay, most times you want to get, okay, go ahead. All right? Time for the fire shot, y'all, man. You about to make a stride in the Hebrew today. All right?
When you say Jeremiah 16:16?
6 and 16.
16:16.
Okay.
Erase the whole thing?
Bubble Shaw, if you could. Okay, and what I said a while ago was not an exaggeration. That's a prophecy in the Bible. I could get precepts if anybody would like. Let's get Revelation 18 and 6 practice, all right?
Revelation 18 and 6?
Come. No, not so big. I show you, all right? We're gonna try to get everything on the board. We want to put an English translation underneath. So to look at how much words is on there and make an estimate of how you gonna place things on the board. Come. Take your time. You understand it?
Yeah.
Okay, come. Take your time, all right? Make it nice and neat so everybody can read it, all right? Go ahead, Brother.
Come. Revelation chapter 18. Let me see this. Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Reward her. Okay, first of all, we have to establish who the her is. So we're gonna need give me verse 2.
Come. Revelation chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon.
Wait. Now we gotta figure out who this he is. Give me verse 1.
Verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven.
So the he is the angel from heaven talking. Give me verse 2 now.
Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice.
Right, so the angels of God are warriors. They're not naked babies like how the oppressor taught us how angels are. And I'm saying that because next month is February. the February is the month of naked baby angels, which is a lie. It doesn't exist. Naked baby angels, all right? Okay. Keep reading.
Saying, Babylon, the Great is fallen.
America is Babylon the Great according to the Bible. America is Babylon the Great. Mind you, when this was written, right? This was written during our time in the Greek Roman captivities, right? It was written by Saint John the Revelator. This is the book of Revelations. And in this time, the old Babylon has fell, but then there was a new Babylon to come, which is what's prophesied here. And what they're saying is, when you're reading this, right? Babylon the Great is fallen. It has already fell. Right? America has already fallen. You just can't see it. They're complaining about inflation. They're complaining about what they're complaining about. They're complaining about the COVID. It won't go away. They got 13 new Omicron variants. 13. They start naming them with X's and XMBs and BBs and MBs. I don't know if you heard of it. I saw y'all. They got 13 new variants of Omicron out there right now, spinning around, passing around to everybody on the New Year's, so-called New Year's gatherings, right? Because the Lord is on time with attacks. He doesn't play around. Babylon the Great is fallen. Keep reading.
It's fallen.
It's fallen. That's what the Lord said. God said that America is already done, right out there. All right. So we don't need any sympathy right now. We just need oppressors to go in cages and chains, right? Because it's time. All right. And every day, all you're gonna go to the news and see more bad news. And they're gonna say, we've never seen things like this before. We're living in unprecedented times. Is there any good news at all out there? All you're gonna hear is landslides and flash floods and hurricanes and tornadoes and war and war and war and war. And China and Taiwan and Russia and Ukraine and the upcoming war in Africa, and France trying to join Russia. And the Ethiopians trying to get in the war, and Iran and Syria and Iraq and the Saudis. Go ahead, President. You want to say something?
Yeah, if I may, a lot of people don't realize what Americans doing. They shipping all these weapons to the Ukraine. That's across the world.
Exactly.
That's what practice for. You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen in Asia?
Yeah.
Because the war's coming on, so they're doing practice. Because America don't do anything by accident or for help. They do it for how can we get this amount of weapons in a short period of time on this part of the world. That's what they do.
Sure, and you're absolutely right. Meaning, right? Babylon the Great is fallen, and they're trying to do everything they can to support those to hope to keep it back up. Keep it. It's gonna explain right here. Keep reading.
And he become the inhabitants of devils.
He became the what?
The inhabitants
Habitation. Babylon the Great has become the what?
Habitations of devils.
America has become the habitation, the living place of the Caucasian race. And Saint John the Revelator calls them what? Habitation of
devils.
The Bible calls the oppressor the devil in the book of Revelation 18:6. They call the oppressor the devil in the Bible. All right. So the devil in the Bible is not a man under the ground, because that is Greek myth. That's not true about a man under the ground with a pitchfork. That is Greek mythology referring to Hades. That's not real life. But in real life, the Bible talks about real life. And there is a place on the earth that is the habitation, the living quarters of the devil. Right? And they said, what? It has become a what? Habitation.
Habitations of devils.
Devils, plural, meaning
devils.
Meaning the slave master's people. Read.
And the hold of every foul spirit.
And the hold of every foul spirit, every foul lust lives here. Child molesters and murderers and drug dealers and rapists. They all here. Keep reading.
Come.
And homosexuals. And birthday worshippers and Christmas celebrators and New Year's gatherers. Keep reading.
And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
All the people that the Lord don't like, all the people who are supposed to be in cages, right? Within the extremities of where the Lord put them, they are out of the cage. You see what I'm saying? The cage, the Chinese is out of the Chinese cage from China. And the Africans are out of the African cages from Africa. And the Arabs are out of the Arab cages of the Middle East. And everybody flocks to America. And America makes deals with everybody. And as Balthazar said, America now gives all of these people around the world weapons and aid and help. Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
All these people around the world have drank the wrath of her fornication. And the wine, meaning their religion, meaning what? God love all people, which is the Christian religion. Everybody drank off of that wine, because that wine, that Christianity makes you drunk, give the illusion, right? When it can make you feel like you're not sober, you're under the illusion that everything is okay. Like as if you drank wine. You get to be merry with everyone. Just like when you drink wine. Right? Don't wine, you drink alcohol, you go to a party, right? You don't care who's there, what's there, what race of people is there, what nation of people are there. You just go have a good time with everybody. That's America. And all the nations have drank of the wine of her fornication. Meaning what? Unlawful sex. Meaning they doing this thing to abuse the Lord's people, which is a crime before the Lord. It's punishable by death. Keep reading.
Come.
According to the Bible. Read.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
And the kings of the earth, all the leaders of the earth have committed fornication with America. Read.
Come.
This that unlawful thing that they should not have done, and now they're going to pay for their crimes before the Lord. Read.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich.
And everybody in the earth is waxed rich because of America. America goes to the Middle East and help the Saudis fight ISIS. And next thing you know, there's the buy. Now there's buying gas. Now America's buying their gas, and everybody's buying their gas, and everybody's rich. Right? Who else? Everything's made in China. Now China is rich from America. You see what I'm saying? They had the Negroes and Latinos and slaves over here, right? Picking cotton and sugar from the West Indies, and now Europe is rich because of America. All right? All the Africans was in Africa starving, and then somehow they got some sale going on in America, and now Africa is rich because of America. Nigerian oil goes to America. All right? Because of America. Okay? Anything else here?
Come.
Yeah?
Through the abundance
Good
of
work.
her,
Actually. Through the abundance of her? Let the trooper read it, right? Let the trooper pick up from there, right? What verse you at?
Verse at the last sentence of verse 3.
Okay. Revelations 18 and 3, right?
Revelations 18 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
The last sentence.
Give me
the merchants.
And the merchants.
And the merchants of the earth.
Meaning the businessmen. Meaning corporations, businesses, right? Keep reading.
Are waxed rich.
They all waxed rich. Everybody has billions of dollars. Everybody. Every country. Right? India. Do you know that India owns Range Rover? Range Rover. That's why they keep breaking on the street. On the highway. Because Range Rover is owned by India. Tata Motors, they call it. Right? India, Range Rover and Jaguar. Right? That's owned by India. You have these gas stations out here called Bolo. That's Indian owned. That's from India. 7-Eleven, come on. Okay? Come on. Now, every nation has grossed wax rich in the abundance base of their mercantism in America. And anything that's in America is built off the slaves. Right? That's why there's so much money here, because they made so much money off of the free labor of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Keep reading. And the oppressor worked the Indians to death, and then killed them after they worked in California. That's real. That's history. All right. Keep reading.
Through the abundance of her delicacy.
And that was by the Spaniards. That's why over there's Las Vegas and Los Angeles, and or San Diego, because those are all Spaniard names, and those Spaniards enslaved the Native Indians in the Americas. Keep reading.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
Another voice from the Most High said, what?
Come out of her, my people.
This does not mean run to Dimona, Africa, Dimona, Israel. That's not what this means. Come out of her, my people. Come out of what? Get out of the wine, man. Leave America alone. Be in America, but don't be there. Right? Be in America, but don't do Christmas. Be in America and don't do New Year's. Don't go to Times Square on New Year's. Don't do that. They'll be upset. Right? Be in America and do the Passover. The Passover coming up. April the 1st. Rally, North Carolina. Oh, wait. You see what I'm saying? America ain't doing that. That's something separate from America. We're like the people in Exodus to ask Pharaoh, can we let's let out me and my people. It's Moses talking. Me and my people want to go worship our God for 3 days. That's what we're doing. We're gonna go to another place, commissioned by the Most High in Christ. As according to the Bible, there's only one Passover that's legitimate according to the Bible, and we're gonna go there, right? April the 1st, right, to a place that the Lord chose, right, by His priests, and we're gonna worship the Lord there. We're gonna be there, right? Around roughly, I don't know, 3 days. Keep reading.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
The key is the what? What to leave in this place means to not be partakers of her sins. That's what it means to come out of her. It means to not be partakers of her sins. People leave to Dimona. They go to Dimona and they rape all the young girls there and sleep with each other's wives in Dimona. I'm not saying something we never heard about. Beninese people. They left America because they believe this come out of her means to go to the Middle East, to go back to try to get to the modern day Israel, right? And that's what they did. And when they went there, they were partaker of the same sins that you do in America, sleeping with another man's wife, right, and all other kind of sins. Keep reading. So going to leaving the country is not the answer. The answer is to not be a partaker of these sins that you have learned to do in America. Right? Resist that sin. Right? I know it's not easy. We got counsel here. Right? You know what we can do? As we can do, right? If you have problems with sin, right? You call this number right here, especially if you're in New York, you have to call this number right here, right? You're gonna call this number on the back right. Let me see if they can see this number right here, brothers, all right? So lock in.
Focus up, yeah. Okay.
Oh, right there. Can you read the number, Protazar?
Come.
Read it.
Telephone number is 646 481 6315.
There we go. That's the number you should call right there for counsel if you have a problem trying to stop sinning. Right? Call that number right there. We'll help you out, all right? It's the only place where we actually gonna help you out. If you go to some new path that's not sanctioned by the Lord, but they're gonna tell you that you're an evil bastard, right? And get away from my figures, like that's what they're gonna tell you, right? Over here we fix, brothers. That's the job of Christ, to wash each other's feet. Okay? Keep reading Isaiah, y'all.
And that you receive not of her plagues.
So you don't receive of her plagues, because you went out on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, to watch the ball drop. You was out there with 13 new variants of Omicron viruses. 13 new Omicron variants, right? All being circled or reported the day before the New Year's. So everybody comes into a big crowd and have to have a gathering and a party and they pop champagne, and they get to have a taste of the Lord's plagues. All kinds of Lord's plagues. 2 variants at a time. Three variants at a time. Who knows what's in the air? Smoking all the weed and, it's all there. Right. If you was wise, you hearken to the Lord, because a man cannot serve 2 masters unless he love one and hate the other. Keep reading.
Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
America is trying to reach up to the Lord. The Lord sees what's going on here. You see what I'm saying? And the stack is so high, the list of all the things that America has done against the Lord's people. Read.
And God hath remembered her iniquities.
And God remembered slavery. What the Lord is saying. God remembers slavery. God remembers all the unfair treatment that we've had here. God remembers the drugs coming into our communities. You see what I'm saying? God remembers the Christian church and how they told black women to leave their black man and get a white man. Right? The Lord remembers that from church. That's what the Lord closed them churches down. Right? The Lord remembers the past of robbing the people. God remembers all of that. God remembers police brutality. He remembers the lynchings. He remembers the rape and the murder. He remembers the robbery. God remembers the Africans coming over here talking about where your black brother to you black sisters, and it takes all of the sisters' money and runs to Africa. The Lord remembers that. Okay? Wanted to love some African and be from the African. Africans gonna rob you. You weren't about scammers from Brooklyn. The scammers it started from the Africans. You see what I'm saying? Africa, the home of scamming. Come on, man. Come on, you go look in your email right now. You got an email from Africa right now in your spam. Come on, man. Don't be partakers of it. Don't be scammers like the Africans. That's what the Lord is saying. Don't be partakers of their sins. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit usury. Keep reading.
Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Now, for that oppressor right over there, right? God of thoughts. The Lord said what?
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Yeah, we have to reward you, Mr. God of thoughts, as you have rewarded us. All right, so bukit is nice. Go to Texas. They like bukits down there. You know what I mean? Go to Texas or California. Go to a camp. You can kiss some boots. But the Bible says that we're gonna reward you double for how you have rewarded us. Right? This entire country, the whole earth, right? Christ is going to reward you double for how you rewarded us. So if we suffered poverty and being on EBT, you're going to be on double poverty, and you're going to hope that you had double EBT. And you see how right now people in New York can't find apartments because I can't say it because they're going to ban the video. I can't. The untouchable people, the untouchable people. You know what I'm talking about?
We all know.
We all know what we're talking about. The untouchables. The people that you can't talk about, or they're going to ban you like Kanye West. They're going to block you out from the media and YouTube and flag all your videos. Right? The untouchables. God damn. The crime that they've done to the people. You never like that free speech when it comes to them. Free speech is good in the Constitution until it comes to them. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Aga guys. I'm talking about the children of Amalek. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're damn right? The Jewish man. The
Sioux.
Huh?
The Sioux.
The Sioux. God.
The Sioux.
God, the untouchables. You know what I'm saying? The shh. Them. Talking about them, the man. The man. Illuminati. The Illuminati. Right? One Jewish man, I can't remember his name. He flat out said Druminati. He said Druminati is real. That's what he said. He's a famous devil, man. I can't remember his name, man. Oh man, I didn't even know he was Jewish. I see him on TV all the time. Man, he said Druminati is real. He said, yeah, we wear simple coats and a hat, but they're all stinking rich. And they hugging all the apartments in New York according to an article. I could bring out the article if we got time, bro. But we gotta get Hebrew, right? This is a Hebrew class. Okay. According to Yale, there's no vowels in Hebrew. Right? Number one, being on that topic there, right? We have Jeremiah 6 and 16 on the board. Right? Ka is thus. Okay? Ka. Right? So this is just like how you would say it thus, meaning you would usually start a sentence with this. Right? Okay? And then Amar is said, right? Said. Right? So I know it says on the interlinear. Yeah. Right? So that it's on the right track, right? Amar is how you say said or say. Okay? Okay? And we got the Lord's name, right? Amar. And we got the Lord's name. Yahweh. This is what they end up saying is Yahweh in transliterations. The Christians get the name wrong, or Jehovah is all come out of this, right? They call this in white academic scholarly worlds, they call this the tetragrammaton. Tetragrammaton, it just means the Lord's name. It means this Yahweh, right? That's what they call the tetragrammaton in smart world, all right? Yahweh, right? Okay. Imad, right? Imad means stand, right? So we get that right there. Iman, we just write it a little darker, right? Iman. Iman. Hold on. You know what I wanted? I didn't want to write it in ancient Hebrew figures, because people online are not gonna know what he's talking about. I wanted to write it in English letters, right? That's my bad. Because I said ancient Hebrew. That was my fault. So he did correctly as I said, right? But people online, because we're streaming across the line radio. They don't know what the hell none of this says. You see what I'm saying? All right. So so we got Ka, Ashar, Yahweh, Amadwa, right? What you gonna do? You're gonna state to me, and I'm gonna erase this line by line, and we're gonna write it over, right? Okay. Okay. So we got Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Imadi. Okay. Okay. So we got Ka. Right? Ka is thus. Okay. Ka, and it was Amar, right?
Ka.
Amar. I think this pen is a little bit too dimming, right? It's on its way out. Ka, Amar. All right. Amar. Okay. Right, and that's say. Amar. Right, and then we have Yahweh, which is God's name. Yahweh. Right, which is God's name. Right, God's name. Okay, and it was Imad, right? Right. Imad. Is it getting too light, Protestant? Can you read Imad here?
Let me see.
Imad. Right? Imad means stand.
Yeah, it's getting too light on my phone when I see it, but I see it on the screen right here.
Okay. We're trying. Imad. And then we got the Wa. Right? And also, besides the devil, right? All questions are welcome. Right? We welcome questions, genuine questions from brothers and sisters. If the oppressor had a genuine question about Hebrew, I'd address it. But he came on here talking about licking boots when you can't lick my boots through the camera. So why the hell are you even telling me that? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear questions about Hebrew. Okay? Come on a Saturday. That's all I'm going to tell you. All I'm going to tell you on a Saturday when we're at camp. All I'm going to say is get down and kiss boots. Get down and kiss. I don't want your questions at camp. I'm annoyed by questions from the others who are not my brothers at camp. All I want to see is your face down. People, you should just come to camp and just bow down before the camp. I'm getting a good, nice crouch position, get on all fours like a dog. That's what Christ called the Syrophoenician woman, Greek by nation. She's supposed to get down like a dog and lick the crumbs off the ground. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want your questions like that, but here, the only thing you can do here is questions. All right? So I don't want anybody bowing down and none of that stuff in class. All right? Go ahead, Protestant.
It's like it's that's not Ka. Ka is like is saying you say you said. Is that
Ka is like saying thus, meaning if I'm talking and I'll say it's like saying because of this or now it's not like saying now is nah, right? But it's like saying thus. Right, thus saith the Lord, right? Usually it wouldn't say thus, it wouldn't say ka for thus. Ka would usually mean like therefore, or like hereon or now or thus, right? But in this case, usually, okay, thus saith the Lord is usually Wa Ya Amar Yahweh. And he said, right? So what we're gonna go on a concordance, right? We're gonna go to a book, Strong's Concordance, right? And we're gonna go to Ka, right? Lamanasa, Ayapatiza. Okay. Ka, here we go. Ka, we got Kap, Kasa, Kala, Ka, Ka, Wa, Abagada, Ha, Wa, Hawa. So we gotta go before Wa, and we got Ka, Kahan, Ka, Kaha, Ka. Here we go. Concordance code 33541. All right, I'm not sure how well they can see it on the camera here. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit, and let's see if we can come in. All right, 3941, and it says from the prefix, and so it's saying from the prefix meaning ka to say like, and the what to say like this. Okay, so there you go. So it's what it's saying is it's like two prepositions put together. Kaha to say like this. So that's a perfect explanation right there.
Okay.
All right. So then he gave the examples at the bottom of how it's seen as, or how it should be pertained to in talk as in English. On that manner, right? Or while, right? Hitherto of time, or now also here. On the other hand, on the other side. On that manner, in that way, just like this, and because of that, that's that ongoing thing they teach you in English, in your English classes growing up in your grammar school, and you'll have a way of sentence continuation. That word in the beginning, it's saying like that, right? So what it's saying is that this is like I saw you had on the board before. It was ka and ha. Right? So this ka, right, which is Ka, is a preposition to say like. Right? And then the ha is to say the. So it's saying like the. In other words, it's how they're saying this. Like this. Right? Like this said Yahweh. Stand, right? And then wa, right? Either means his or it, him or it. Okay? We gotta get this line right here, right? And we're writing like this so you can understand, you can see how Hebrew is spoken in its spoken form. All right? So we can say words, and we can learn to say blue and numbers, and we can say shalom. But then to know how to say the things together to make sentences, we would have to observe sentence structure. So we know how to form it in our mind, right, as we go, right? Right. So we have al, the rock is path, yam is path plural, with an S. Okay. Okay, the plural. Okay, so we got path here. That's ways right here, right? And this right here is like a S, the pluralized things, right? I'll is onto. Wa and see. Wa ra'a, wa ra'a wa, right? And see it, right? And see, ra'a is see, right? And we have it and see it. Okay. Wa Sha'al. Sha'al is the ask or demand. That's Sha'al. We know Officer Sha'al in the school, right? That's his name right here. To demand. Ask is a demand. Right? When someone asks for something, the only thing you can say is here. If you say no, that's a disrespect. You don't a person will ask you for something. That's English to say nice way. He's demanding it. Right? Someone on the street said, Can I have $1? he's demanding $1. If you say, no, I don't got it right now, he says, F you! You son of a... There'll be some hope. Broke nigga. It was the biggest of the day. Y'all niggas is broke. Because we didn't want to give them money because of the lifestyle they was living that offended us, right, as priests over the earth. Okay? Good. Right? Wa, sha'alwa. Right? So that and right here, right, is the first one. That's what we talked about in David's name. Right? The wa became like an and. Okay? So you put the two dots together and the wa became like an and, right? Good. And then the wa at the end of the word, right, is used to say it. All right? So wa at the beginning of a word and at the end of the word means different things. Right? Because preposition does not, preposition meaning meaning before. Positioned before, that's what preposition means. Positioned before. Right? Does not equal to possessive, which is at the end. Preposition does not equal possessive. When you see something at the beginning of the word, according to the rules and formats, it can only mean one thing. And according to the rules and formats of possessive at the end of a word, it can only mean one thing, which is never the same as what's in the front. All right? So there's a format, there's a rule that we go by. Wa always means and at the front. Always means and at the front. Wa at the end of a word never means and. Wa at the end of a word never ever means and. Wa at the end of a word only means he or it. His, him, or it. Okay, good. So let's write it out so we can we all can get it. Okay. Okay. So we started with over there, it was ow, right? And then it was the ways, right? And onto, it was Darakia, right? Okay. Darak, which means road. Like this would be a word for street, right? Go down that street. You know what I mean? Or way, path, right? Road, street. Just have it as a street. The rock is street. All right? And it was the rock yum, to say plural. All right? I think I'm too deep down in the board. Let me just rewrite this right quick. Okay. Da rock yum. The rock, right? The rock yum, okay? And see, right? So wa and, right, is always wa, right? And then I'll put a space here to let you know. Attached to this, right? The preposition is attached to the root word. Root word right here is ra'ah. Ra'ah, and then I put another dash here to say, now we're on the phase of the possessive. Right? Ra'ah, wa. Right? So here's the phase. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1 is always the preposition. Right? 1 is always the preposition. 2 is always the root word, meaning it's always the word in the middle. That's the root word, right? And then the third part of the format, right, is the possessive, right, referring to things or people. Okay? And you always have to remember the format. All you do all day when you read the Hebrew is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2. Right? Or 1, 1. Because these are both prepositions here. 1, 1. Amar is a root word that's on its own. So that's 2. Right? The Lord's name is a name on its own. So that's 2. Right? So that's a root, right? And then over here, we have no one. We go right into the root word. How do I know that? Because there's no preposition that's an I. So when I see I, automatically, there's no preposition. I go into the root word, which is Aima, which is stand. And then there's the phase 3, the possessive, him. Okay? So all day, 1, 2, 3. Preposition, root word, possessive. Preposition, root word, possessive. Preposition, no preposition. Okay, root word, possessive. Root word, possessive. Root word, possessive. Preposition, no root word, possessive. So it's just preposition and possessive, right? And then you know, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, all right? Good. Or awa, wa, and the man, right? Wa sha'alwa. Wa sha'alwa. Wa. Running out of space over there. Salaki. I gotta put everything on the board and everybody can see I gotta write this over. Salaki. Let me just move them down though. Right? The rock, yum. Okay. Wa, ra'a, wa ra'awa. How is it online? Can people read this first up?
Salaki, sir, give me a 1 if you can see the writing clearly on the board, please. Baba Kashaf, give me a 1 so you can see the board clearly with the green magic marker. Baba Kashaf.
MashaAllah. What's that you keep popping over there, man?
Some mango sparkling water.
Oh, okay.
Want one of these?
You got one?
I got one more. Hey.
Let me try one of those. Yeah. You want to spin half? Spin half. Yeah, put it. My cup right here.
Salaki, sir, if I may.
Yeah.
It's still kind of like.
Break me down, Mukbasha.
Like bunched.
It's a bit bunched?
Yeah, bunched up and it look like you can't really.
I see what you're talking about. See, let me see if I can bring it closer. If I can bring it closer so it can stretch it more on the screen a little better. Probably, Lord willing. Okay. Hopefully you can see it like that. All right. Okay. Good. So let me write what goes with them.
You want half? You want half the cup or?
Yeah. Just put half of it in the cup and you just take the can, all right?
Come. Right.
You're not sharing no drink with you in IUIC. I just gotta say that, you know. I hear stories. You know what I mean? They're not breaking no drink with you in what's the one there with Zabak? Whatever the camp Zabak's in. They're not breaking no drink with you. You see what I'm saying? They might with you for the first day, but then over time, of course, you know, you have the evil eye to each other, and they're not gonna break no drink with you in whatever the group is, man.
From what I hear, it's their women that sharing over there.
Oh my God, that's the only thing they're breaking out over there. They put a woman at the 2 different cups over there. Good, man. That's horrible, man. Yeah, man, that's against nature, man. Heartbreaking. Right? The rock is path, or I'm gonna put road. What do we say in America? We more say a street or road. Road, street, road, right?
Road, come.
Okay, I can say road, right? If I say road, you know what I'm talking about?
So like I said, street is also, I think, more better on street because we're on the East Coast, so it would be more street.
The road is a little more country.
Huh? Say again?
Road is a little more country.
Road is more country. Then country is better. Country is better because where our people is born out of farmers and from nature and the earth.
Dealing with country.
Yeah, road, right? So we put road. Path. If that's the path, y'all think path?
It's the same thing.
Same.
Country. Yeah, it's the same thing dealing with country.
What would you say more, path or road?
Road.
Road?
It would be road.
Road. Okay, good. I want to answer that because the scripture says, to the Jews I became a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. So I got to speak in the way how we think. You do when y'all go fishing, you got to talk to people like how they talk. If you talk to smart Negroes, you got to talk to them in a smart Negro way. You talk to hood niggas, you got to talk to them in the hood nigga way. You see what I'm saying? That's how you got to do it. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Partizan.
So like, path is more like aqueducts and there's stuff like in the woods, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the woods or someplace like that, that would be more like a path. It would be more like a path. And you're making a shortcut, you're making a path, and you're making a shortcut. Let me see here.
Okay.
See Tower Wall.
Let's see. Let's see it. Right. Right. And demand. Sha'al is demand.
Salakia, sir. I got Trooper Tazawa.
Yeah.
It's just saying how is Trooper Tazawa? How do it look now when we move the camera closer? Sir, it seems very hard to see.
La, it's a na, right?
That's a 9, yeah.
Okay. La. Nathabwa. Okay. Pull up the give me the concordance code for that one right there. That's not one that we usually go over all the time. We don't see that. Iwalam is gonna be like world or age society.
So right, 5410.
5410?
Yeah.
Okay. For 5410 in the Bible concordance, the Bible strong, you know the other one? Yeah. Put 5410 in there and see what's the most common usage for 5410 in the English. Okay. Right. Ath means apply a verb, applying the verb. So the verb will be the demand. Okay. And ath means, when you see ath, means the thing after it is referring to the demand. Okay. Look for the verb. So this only counts for applying the verb. This is like our way of using bulletproof points, right? Usually you see wa'af, right? Apply a verb. This is very important because everybody always comes back and asks me about the af. Okay, well, no, this is not af. This is yeah, that's yeah. Yeah is weird. Slack. There's a thing called af. This thing right here, af. Right? Everyone always asks me about an af, right? Af like AHTH, right? This thing right here means you apply the verb. Right? It's always good to know about the af because people, no matter what you do, right? There's not going to be no explanation for this in a dictionary or a concordance. They're not going to explain what this is. Like if you go on, if you come across an af on the interlinear, underneath, like you see, like I'm doing right here, are we breaking down the words and stuff like that? Underneath it, it's going to say this, right? And some people make an assumption to say that it means with. This does not mean with. Okay, that does not mean with. All right, this means to apply the verb. So if you was running, or you're shouting, or you're calling, right? You will say ah. It's like our way of saying bulletproof points. So I would say the brothers in the school right now is, well, that's not a verb. The brothers entered the school. Ah, hazahab, wa'af, paratazah, wa'af, aishayalam. And Kawak and Karab wasn't able to make it. But now see, Kawak and Karab, I didn't put an af or a wa'af in front of them. So the verb of entering the school was not referring to them because I didn't say af before I mentioned them. Right? So that's a very important thing that every single person that's come to me and asked me about what is the af. right? I'm mistaking this thing right for ah. This is ah ya, right? Good. I'm gonna leave. Shall I leave that there? No, I'm not leaving it. I said it already. Okay, good. You got five. You got the 554.
Yeah, come.
Okay, go ahead.
It appears 26 times. 22 times as path.
It appears 22 times as path. Okay, go ahead.
2 times as way.
2 times as way. So it's saying it's just like the rock. Okay. And what is the root word there that it says? When you pull it up, what did it show you in the Hebrew there?
Nathayah.
Nathayah, right? Okay. Six and 16. Okay. Nathab, right? Okay. Good. So let's go get this one here. So it says la, na, la. We'll put it to a dash there. When you see la is in the list of prepositions. That means two, right? And then we got thab what, right?
Okay.
Thab what, right? Thab what. Did I burn up too much space? I feel like I did burn too much space. La, na, thab. Wow. Okay. And then the other one, I rubbed up the damn thing. This was Iwalam over here. Iwalam. Where is Aya? Right. Where is Aya? And then the other one was it said the rock again, right? It was the past, right? But there was something else right here. Za means this. Za, Z-A-H. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Come on. I make some more room here. Yeah. Za. And then the last one was the rock, right?
Okay.
The rock. Okay, good. Right? Nathab. Nathab is to say, it said path, right? There was another way of saying path, right? This means plural in another sense, according to the books. This is a way of saying plural that is kind of like a categorized way, meaning it's not numbering. It's like a generalized, so plural generalized, right? Okay. Iwalam usually means world, right? What came up there? As reading the English again one more time. Right, hold on. Aya, find an English there for me, all right? Aya means where, right? Za, this is a good one to remember. Always remember this. Za means this, right?
So I can word you asking for?
The rock is road. We're looking for how the word Iwalam here is,
Old.
right? Huh?
Old.
Old? Yeah. Oh, old. Oh, damn. Well, this is not. Old is the Kwan, right? They're referring to the society, right? So this is a word which means society, right? So they're saying, I spelled it wrong, right? Society. Right? That's why Ecclesiasticus says Hebrew has more force. All right? All right, so it says old. Read it the King James Version right quick for me, somebody. All right.
We got Jeremiah 6 and 6.
Yeah.
6 and 16. So
Yeah, Jeremiah 6 and 16.
come. Thus saith the Most High.
Right. Thus saith the Most High, Yahweh in the Hebrew. Right. Go ahead.
Stand ye in the ways.
Stand ye in the way. Stand him. Right. Stand him onto the roads. Read.
And see.
And see. See it. See them. All right. See it. The road. Read.
And ask for.
And demand. Demand it. Read.
The old paths.
To path society, referring to the Israelite society. This was the original path. This is your path. So here, this is not the old American path. This is not the path back to Europe or a blast from the past. This is the path back to David and Solomon and Moses and Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? And all of those were within one society. All right. So today, this is when they say gospel of the world. This is world right here. It's not referring to earth. Right. Or society, world, age. It's used as age also. Age. World, age, society. As for the old age, don't be. People say, "Oh, that's the Bible. We don't live in biblical times anymore." You're living in biblical times. You're living in biblical. You're living in the end of Exodus all over again. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So we're asking for the Israelite world. Ask for the old world. I mean, when the Lord of the Most High was in existence. I mean, where we were the favored people and everyone else were a lower class of people according to the Lord. All right? Good. Okay? We have, say again?
So you want me to finish with, you got, because you got where? After path, you got where?
No, we just wanted to figure out what Iolam was, so I asked you to get it in English so we can get the context. You know what I mean? We got Ha, Tawab. We all familiar with this word here, right? Tawab. That's what we got right here. What I'm doing is I'm writing in English letters what we got on the board here, so everyone who's not familiar, they can pick up. This is where we get the word Tawab from, all right? But what we got here, we got Wa and no, this is Walak. Walak Wa. Wa Lak Wa. Right? The root word is Halak. Right? Okay, so let's put that there. Wa Lak. Right? Wa. Okay. I wrote it close to the Hebrew. I'm going to erase the Hebrew. Right? We got Baha. Baha. Wa Mataza'a. Wa Mataza'a. Taza'a is out. And you will find, that's what it said, and you will find it. Mataza'a. Or Mataza'a is find. Okay. We're going to break down Mataza'a. To find something, you have to go out. Like say you're going to look for something, you're going to search for something. Searching is in the house, everything is indecently in order. You want to go seasoning, you go to the kitchen, go to the seasoning thing. You don't really have to find anything in your house. But when you want to find limes and lemons, you want to go find a wild chicken, you have to go out there and search for it. So the root word of find is taza'a, right? So ma taza'a is to say of, out. That's how we got the word find or search, all right? Okay. I think I ran out too much space again. Can't fit everything on here. I'm getting hold on. Ha Tawab. Wa Lak. Wa. Okay. Ba, ha. Okay. And then we have wa, ma, taza, ma, taza, ma, taza, and wa. Right? Just put everything on there. Good. I'm gonna go over that now. Okay, good. So here we go. Can you see this okay?
Come.
You can read that right there.
Come. That's the right there, more closer as you put to the.
Okay. Right. So ha in the Hebrew is what? The. Good. Ha is the in Hebrew. Right? That's this right here, right? Tawab. Right? People online and across the line radio should know what tawab is. Tawab in Hebrew is good. Okay? Wa. We went over this before. Wa as a preposition, right? Always means and. At the front. Wa always means and. I'm gonna write and here for you. I'm gonna write the symbol, so you know. Lak, coming from halak, right, is walk, right? It looks similar. Walak, walka, walka. Okay. Hold on a second. Did it say in the interlinear? Did it say wa is to say and on walak?
Yeah, it said and walk.
It says and walk. Give me the English again. King James version, all right?
Come. See where is the good way?
Because all the time, English comes from Hebrew in everything. English comes from Hebrew. Okay, so I just want to check right quick because I know we usually say halak to say walk, yalak to say go. That's the thing the Arabs is always saying in the corner stores to their minion boy in the bodega. They always raping in the back. There was a cat over here, Smiley. You all remember Smiley, right? In the down the street over here, we have a corner store from they're people from Yemen. The Arabs in there. And Smiley, one day, all of a sudden, he disappeared, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he went back home because he been crying to his people like, yo, his uncle is raping him in the store. Every day. You know what I mean? And, we know Smiley. Smiley ain't no homosexual. But it's the Arabic way to do that, man. We were bringing articles about the Muslims. You know what I mean? Because people in Harlem want to be Muslims. So we brought out the article about real Muslims in Afghanistan and Yemen and the Middle East. They are all homosexuals, man. They all rape young boys, man. All of them. When they come talking about Islam is the true path to life, you a joke. You see what I'm saying? Insanity. Islam is a gay religion, man. I say all the time, man. Islam is a gay religion. They wear dresses. They wear man dresses. It's a gay religion. 100%. Don't be mad at me, man. Be mad at the people whose religion it is. Come on, brothers, go ahead. And now people gotta be in that silly stuff, man. Fake religion, copying the Bible. They're all a whole bunch of LGBT members, man. All of them. Acting like they're stoning homosexuals to death. They're not stoning each other over there. Tell me, man. All them boys in the article is in the police station. And the American soldiers was mad. That's how he even got out. Because the American soldiers, they had to go aid Afghanistan. So they went to the local police stations to work with them in a military operation. And in the police station, the police officers are all raping the young boys. Now, if it was to them, if this was something that was punishable by death, right? the whole community will be, you would hear on the news a mass stoning of random Afghani men. Come on, man. Go ahead, Professor.
So that's ironic right there. The American soldiers was saving, you know what I'm saying, saving these Ishmaelites, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Afghanis,
Ishmaelites.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing is, the American soldiers was raping the Afghanis and the jail they have in Cuba.
Yeah.
They raping them.
Calm.
American soldiers.
Oh shit. I just Googled that.
Oh, he looked it up. he thought it was a joke. he was like, oh shit. Damn, this is just true. Yeah, man, it's true, man. Yeah, man. That's why Revelations a while ago says every hateful bird, their sins are reached up to heaven, man. The crimes these people do against on the Lord's earth, man. You're not allowed to do that on the Lord's jurisdiction, His earth. Can't be no homo, man. You know what I mean? And the Arabs are just like that. For black people to say that they Muslim, man, it's a sad thing, man. Like the LGBT is new, but Islam is old. Islam is the old world LGBT community. We'll talk, right? And search it. Okay. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Go ahead.
All right. We have a brother, what's that, Rob, McDowell. He said it's still hard for him to see it.
It's still hard for him to see. Good.
Yeah. Everybody else said it was okay.
Everyone says okay. Okay. Let me walk him through it to see if I can make it a little easier, right? Okay. So ha is the. Tawab is good. Wa at the beginning of the word is and, right? Lak to say halak is walk. Wa is it, right? Ba as a preposition is in. So if you say ba means in, right? Baha to say in it. Usually you see bawa, no problem, right? So what they refer to is the path. They refer to the path as a woman because this is the thing you have to marry. You have to go in onto her. Okay, good, right? And then wa. Again, wa at the beginning of the word is and. Ma tala'a is search, right? Tala'a, right? Tala'a by itself is how you say out. Right? We say that in the prayers, right? When it says when we ask the Lord to protect our going in and our going out, there's a part where it says waba wa'aka. Wada taza'aska, right? That taza'aska, that's this taza'a right here, which means out. That wa bawa'aka, that's from ba to say that's from ba'a. Ba'a means come, right? So you have ba means in, and then building on ba'a is how you say come, right? The word ba'a is built off of ba because ba is in. If you was asking someone to come, you tell him to come in this way. So ba'a is come, right? In out, in is ba, right? Ba'a, right? Taza'a is out. Okay, good. If you're gonna search for something, say on the news, right? Every now and again, there's some little white girl that's dead, murdered by some white man, right? What do people do when they want to search for her? They get a whole bunch of guys together with the cargo pants and the garden boots, right? And the you know how the persons dress, and they get the flashlights, and then they go out to go look for her, right? So ma, right, is of, right? Ma, of, out, is how we get the word for search. That's how the word is formed, search. Right? So of course, in the Hebrew, now you're you're gonna write ma, right? That's this right here, ma, and then you're gonna put the ta za ah here. Ta za ah. Right? Ma ta za ah. Just like that. Okay? Excuse me, sir. I would like to know, is it hard to learn Hebrew and speak it? Who's that? Ron McDowell. It's hard to learn English, brother. It's very difficult to learn English. English is the hardest language in the world to understand. Hebrew is easier to learn than English. Okay? The only problem about speaking any language is if you have nobody to speak it with because your people don't know it, then of course you're not going to be able to retain everything without practice. So what we do in ISUPK for that, we have the Sabbath service every Saturday. Every Saturday we have a Sabbath service. So brothers, so everybody here can review and recite the Hebrew on the Tanakh in the Bible, right? And we use the JPS Tanakh, and everybody reads it, so we're all familiar with this kind of writing, with how it's spoken. So we can interpret it as we go along. We read certain verses in Hebrew, and then behind the 7 verses of Hebrew, we read 7 verses in English. All right? But you have to be able to learn the words on Friday, and then you have to exercise what you learn on Friday on a Saturday. If you have one without the other, then it's not gonna benefit you too much. If you learn Hebrew and can't exercise it, then it's like learning math, and then you don't never get to do a math exercise. So I can teach you about quadratic equations, but if you don't get homework, right? If you don't have exercise sheets in the class after you learn about quadratic equations, then you're not going to retain what was taught. You have to exercise it. Okay? Right? English is the hardest language ever. The only reason other people can learn English so well is because there's so much countries that speak English. You know what I mean? But everyone knows, man. You have informed, informing, information, and to them that's like hell. Now you gotta learn all these words. It's not like where the rock is road, the rock is path, the rock is street. In English, you gotta learn road, street, roadway, walkway, pathway, path, subway. You be in hell trying to learn English, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, to the point where they gotta have English basics, and then you go to America, you speak English basics. That's what people do. That's what all the funny people here downtown who can't. They're trying to get it right. They just learn. They know one thing. I went to France one time. I said I learned this one phrase. I learned how to say, "Can I have Coca-Cola, please?" I didn't remember how to say it. But that's the only thing I knew the whole time. You know what I mean? Because their language is complex too. All the terms. I don't even go into all the terms. You know what I mean? You can't understand nothing. You see what I'm saying? All I remember is un coca. That's what I remember. They call it Coca-Cola is un coca. To say a Coca-Cola, a Coke. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, that's it. But then, right? Hebrew is easier to learn than English, without a doubt. Easier. In English, in Hebrew, all you gotta do is learn move the format over. All you gotta do is learn preposition. Root word. Can you see it? They can't see it, right? Right? Preposition. Root word. Then possessive. Preposition, root word, possessive. Preposition, root word, possessive. Right? Good. If I say ma. If I say ma-za.
What's that?
This brother ain't been to school. How long you been to school now, man? About 3 months? He interpreted what I said. Ma shamka. Sham. Yahweh Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Barak Atah. What did I just say?
The first part, what's your name?
Oh, he got the first. Oh, he got the first. He picked it up. He picked it up. What's your name? Ma Shamka. Aishaya Allah. He answered. How will you say, my name is Aishaya Allah? I take that. That's not what I expected. I name Aishaya Allah. That's good. Usually we'll say, do you not say my in Hebrew? No. Ya. So instead of wa at the end of a word to say he or it, we put ya at the end of a word as a possessive, right? Ya is mine.
I should have known that.
Come, we did it before. It's because we're going along, we learn different things. But you see what happened here? I could speak Hebrew to the man, and you understood what I said in 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months.
4 months.
4 or 5 months. You know what I mean? And he could interpret what I said, right? Hebrew is easier than Spanish. When you take a Spanish class, you gotta take when you go to school, right? You gotta take the class 3 times a week. In high school, was it high school? 3 times a week? How much y'all did? 3 times a week. And you come out and you don't know no Spanish
at all.
Como está la cosa?
How you doing, La Costa?
Yeah, okay. Okay. You live in Yonkers. You live next door to Simeon. That's not fair. That's not fair. All right. But of course, you're gonna learn a little Spanish around Spanish people, right? Hebrew is easier to learn than Spanish. Hebrew is easy. Hebrew is absolutely easy to learn, right? All you gotta do is stick with the curriculum. Just like anything. You get into a fight, someone comes with you to a gun. Everyone teaches you this, right? Well, I don't think everyone teaches this, right? Okay, in the UPK, we teach this, right? Someone comes to you with a gun. They stick it to you. Put your hands up. You have to comply at first. You see what I'm saying? If in here we know to take guns, right? If you say you're gonna take his gun, you have to be all the way dedicated to it to the end. Because if you lose dedication halfway, if you lose courage halfway, if you give up halfway, you're gonna get shot. You have to be all the way. So if you say you're gonna learn Hebrew, you have to be dedicated to the end, to the death. If you say you're gonna be an Israelite, you have to be dedicated to the end, or you're going to die. You're gonna get AIDS. You're gonna get AIDS, or you're gonna your baby mother's gonna rule your life through the court, in child support court, right? You have to be fully dedicated to the end, all right? And the Lord will free from any evil bitch. According to the Bible, right? There's sisters in the schools are not bitches, but there are some sisters out there who don't like to wear no clothes like a dog. You see what I'm saying? Don't got no shame, don't got no behavior, no morals. You know what I mean? Lick vagina like a dog. Dogs do that. You see what I'm saying? So lock it. Go ahead, Partizan. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get out of here, right? Okay, so we're gonna finish the last part. We got Maragai. That's what it is right there. We're gonna break down Maragai. All right. La, na, pash. Napash is soul, right? Come means y'all, right? And that thing again with the when it comes to the possessives. When there's men and women, you always refer to the men, right? If it's only women, you only refer to women. If it's only men, you use the men's tense. But if it's men and women, you use the men's tense. This is not strange. This is not misogynistic. You do it in America, right? You go to a group, a girl will say, "Hi guys." She's referring to the women too. She's not excluding the women when she said, "Hi guys," right? That's something that's inclusive to all cultures to say that, all right? Okay, so come is to say y'all. This is how you say y'all, right? I should get okay, y'all. Y'all is in Hebrew. That's Hebrew right here, right? It's improper in English, but in Hebrew that is valid, right? Come is y'all. Men. If it was only women, it's kan. Right? Only as a possessive. So if you saw this by itself, this don't mean that. right? Only as a possessive can kan mean y'all as females. Okay. Good. So let me write this out so we can all interpret and look at what was being said on here. Okay. We got ma. All right, ma. We get a little space from the other sentence. Ma. Radat ma. Rad ra. Mag. Ra. Guy. Ragai. Wa'ai, right? That's not a word we usually come across. This one and this one is not usually a word we come across, right? These are uncommon words. This or everywhere. You're gonna find this everywhere. Find this everywhere. Find this everywhere. Find all of these everywhere. These are common words. This and that is not common words. So when it comes to path and road, right? Absorb this word right here, the rock, right? I'd rather absorb that one more than that one because we talk as a poetic people. So we'll say, hey, go down that street, that same road with that street they go down. It's Negro talk. All right?
So
God.
it says that's the only time that word appears.
Yeah, I know rest as knock. You got rest as knock. You have nawam as sleep, slumber. You know what I mean? So that's not a word that usually comes up. Noah's name is rest. His name is Knock. We know Officer Knock in Philly. All right? God. His name means rest. All right? Ma, Ra, Gawai. Okay? Then we got La, Napash. La, Napash. And then the Kam, we just talked about the Kam. That Kam is y'all. That's that right there. Napash is soul. That's how you say soul in Hebrew. This is the thing that you can't see in your body. When you give up the ghost, you give up your soul. Your soul is going out of you. Right? We in Hebrew, this even means your brain. Because we know that our brain, you lose your brain, you lost all activity. So even for some we'll use the word in the past to say our brain too. All right, different, not from your head, but your head is ra'ash. We had that earlier on the board, right? And the pash is soul or brain. All right? Just worry on the word soul though, all right? Okay. Ma means off. Right? Ragawai, it says rest. If I was you, I would not even learn the word ragawai. You don't need to learn that word. All right? If you had any sense, you would never ever use this word. If you use this word to anybody in speaking Hebrew, they're not going to know what you're saying because we recognize the word rest as knock, just like in all other ones, right? So if you put rest in right now in your concordance, it's going to say knock 1,000 times, and it's going to say this word right here 1 time. All right, you want to use the common words. Just like when you learn French, you want to learn the common words in French. Aller means go. Grande is big. Right? Écoute, j'écoute is to listen. Right? You want to learn common things. Right? Je n'ai pas, I don't have. Right? J'ai pas, I have. Right? In Spanish, same thing. You want to learn the common things. You know what I mean? Como is how. Esta is it or it is. You know what I mean? You want to learn the common words. What we got down here? So la, napashkam, waya. I don't want to take off this up here because probably gonna make 2 sentences, right? Okay, la napashkam. Then we have wa. Waya Amarwa. Waya suck y'all. Good luck, y'all people. Wa Ya Marwa. Right? This is the common word when it says, and he said, thus saith the Lord. It's usually wa, ya. Ya, the preposition means he. Amar means said. And then wow to say, and he said him. Or his, right? Sugar phone's going on, man. Don't cry, stop. Shalom. Guys, yeah, don't cry. His head's covered. It's unlawful to greet each other, to pray with your head covered. So the rule is in the ISUPK, if your head is uncovered, you have to always say the Hebrew. How about you, Shadow? It's right there on printer, on the printer. Right? If your head is covered, like I got my Mitri on, all right? Don't press. All right? Don't forget to top me up with that. Yeah. Right? So the Mitri, right? My head is uncovered. Right? If you pour water on my head's gonna get wet. Right? So that's what uncovered means. If you're a sister and you put your hair in a bunch into a big ball at the top of your head like this, if I pour water on your hair gets wet because your head is uncovered. You have to get something and cover your head when you pray. Don't be dumb, right? When you said your hair is for a covering, it doesn't mean it's a covering for when you pray. Right? I've seen so much time before, and when sisters do that, if a sister does that, remember now, there's two sisters. One is taken and one is left behind. There's five. The kingdom is like 10 women trying to marry a bride, marry a groom, right? 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. The foolish woman does not cover her head because she thinks her hair is the covering. The covering in that scripture in Corinthians means is to cover your bald head. It's for beauty, right? If a man is bald, it's like, oh, it's cool. If a sister is bald, it's like, shame, you need a covering. You see what I'm saying? That's what that means. All right, so it's not a covering for when you pray. You have to put your hand on your head or something. Cover the puff on top of your head. Cover the sister coming in with a big giant pyramid on their head, thinking that that's covering her. That's not covering your head. All right, don't be silly. Right? Look for the old path, man. Make these new paths up, man. Look for the old path. Sisters covered their head in the Bible, in the old society. Right? Thus saith God, stand in the paths, in the roads, and see, and demand. What do you demand? The path of the old society, the Israelite society of the path. What did the women do there? Covered their heads. That's what they did. Okay, you're gonna move it now. It's cool, right? Where this road, Ayah Zadarak, right? The good. This path is good. That path where you got right now, where you don't want to cover your head and put your head in a big puff, right? That path means that you don't listen. That's the path you're on. You're on a path where you don't listen, and that's not the good road. You don't keep no man like that by not listening. You better listen to a man. You better know how to have peace. You gotta be able to communicate and receive communication. If you can't receive communication, how can you be friends with anyone? You listen to your girlfriends, but you don't listen to your man, then I don't know how you're gonna be friends with him. If your sisters, if your girlfriends, if you did not listen to your girlfriends when they talking all that garbage to you about anybody, right? They would delete your number. You see what I mean? Ain't that truth? Right? They with their girlfriend, they gotta soak up all the nonsense that their girlfriend is telling them, right? About why they should leave their man, right? Meanwhile, she's thinking her damn self, can't keep no man for nothing. Gonna give you all the marriage advice when she's not known for having no goddamn marriage. But you're gonna listen to her, but then you don't listen to your man, then make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Go ahead, Pratazan.
So can you just make it, I guess the sister didn't really understand. This is Olivia Arnold. About the about, let me just read a question. She said, can a woman wear hat with the hole at the top?
Say it again.
Can a woman wear a hat with a hole at the top?
Yes, but not when you're praying, and not when not when you listen to the Lord's words. Like right now in class, make sure there's no hole in your hat. Right? If there's a hole in your hat because it's old, fill the hole up. Do something. Put a tissue on your head. Put a pillow on do something. Put your hand on your head. Don't be in no class listening to the word of the Lord with your head covered. You're going to dishonor your head. If you're single, you honor your head, which is Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You dishonor him because you won't obey him. He ain't right there for nothing where women got to cover their head. I know Christ ain't saying that for nothing. You see what I'm saying? When you read in the dictionary, the women in the Old Testament covered their head. You got the scriptures in Isaiah about the sister who put the large handkerchiefs on their head. But then because you don't know the Bible, some Christian says, they didn't do that in the Old Testament. You better tell them to shut their mouth. That's why they should not teach, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Talking about she's some woman pastor. She don't know what she's talking about. And then she's going to tell you about things that she don't know. Acting like she know it, and you believe her. I mean, the scripture says, silly women are led away captive. You see what I'm saying? That's what it says. Silly women are led away captive from the truth. That's in the Bible. All right? Don't be a silly woman. Be a smart woman. Be an intelligent woman. Have virtue. Be a virtuous woman. You know what it means to be a virtuous woman? It means you listen. You're gaining instructions so you can be a skilled woman. Skilled. Virtue means skill. It means you can do things. But you can't learn to do anything if you don't listen. The only thing you can do, right? If you can listen to nobody, is be on the phone all day and be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Snapchat. And what's the other one I'm missing? Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Worldstar, Instagram, IG.
AOL and
oh no, that's come on, brothers. You got gray hairs on your beard, brother. So like your brothers. Yeah, I didn't realize you had gray hairs on your beard until. No Black Planet, you know, Black Planet. Black Planet, good night. Good night. Come.
Oh, it's flax and time shift.
Okay, what's that there?
41.
Oh my gosh, brother, you didn't say nothing. Okay, what's the last word here? Not what? Jeremiah 6:16. Just get the last word so we can head out of here, right? Not nalak, right? Nalak, right? Nalak. I've never seen nalak written like this, but then when you see the na, this na means if you write this word, it's replaced. Okay. In all the times, replaced with another preposition like here, like this right here, and this right here is the same word, right? Walk. Right? So the rule with na, with a word that begins with na, is always replaced with the another preposition. So with the wa, if you put a wa there, you have to remove the na and put a wa there. Right? If you say to walk, you have to remove the na and put a la there. La. Right? The walk, you have to remove the na and put a ha there. The walk. Right? What's the other one? Nalak. That's what I know for now, right? Shah, say pertaining to walking. You have to remove the noun, put a shah there. Okay? Good. We ain't gonna burn no more time out. We're gonna pass the class to priest and officer, not priest and officer. Priest officer. Paratazar. Clap it up. Or 500.
ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They they are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi chapter 3, 8 and 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. If we say, we got Purim, that's coming in February. And after that, we have the Passover. The Passover, April 1st. Make sure you make arrangements for your hotel rooms. The hotel rooms is going really, really fast. Make sure you talk. You know what I'm saying? Talk to your camp leader about it and make sure you get a hotel room. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, a major, which means the stand. Men Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men Israel, Mad Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yashar Rakatah. Yad class dismissed. Outro the Passover.
No.
Class?
Yeah,